marriage is supposed to be hard to abusive marriages are really, really hard.
Hey people, how you are doing today? Take out Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you all guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, I find this conversation very interesting because this woman came on to talk about how asking the question, is marriage really supposed to be hard? That people keep saying that marriage is supposed to be hard and really she thinks otherwise. Guys, I need you guys to hear what this woman has to say, then we'll come back and talk.
Is marriage actually supposed to be hard? Let's talk about that. Because I think we've all heard that a lot, and I think it's really harmful. Let's think about it this way. Is your relationship with your very best friend hard? Okay, so think about, if this doesn't actually happen to you, then imagine it. So think about a time when you took your kids swimming with your husband, and it was an absolute disaster. Kids are crying, he's not helping. You have all this resentment, but you're trying really hard to remember what you read about in John Gottman's book about the horsemen of the apocalypse. And so you're trying really hard to be patient, but everybody's hungry and you're trying to get sunscreen on them and you're burning and they're burning and there's one kid drowning and you're trying to get him to help, but he's ignoring you and he's on his phone and you're carrying all the bags and you're just thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And no one's happy, and you get in the car and silent treatment, and then you get home and there's a huge fight and a blow up and he storms out of the house and you're just like, this was horrible. Versus you go swimming with your best friend and her kids. So now there's double the amount of kids. And when little annoying things happen, like you forget the snacks, it just becomes funny. And instead of your husband blowing up at you because you had to go buy some snacks, it's just funny and it's fine and things happen. And she keeps reminding you that you look so beautiful, even though you're super insecure in your swimming suit because you just had a baby and your body isn't, it's a different body and you feel a little bit self-conscious, but she just tells you over and over again how wonderful you are and how much she loves you. And no kids are drowning because together you're watching both of your children and everybody has sunscreen on because you're working at this together, and together you are a great team. You laugh a lot, the kids feel loved, you're playing, you're taking pictures and making memories, and it's this wonderful experience. There's no undercurrent of stress. There's no fight when you get home. You go home feeling better about yourself. Your relationship with your best friend is stronger than ever. But isn't your husband supposed to be your best friend? Isn't he also a parent of your children? So let's change this from marriage is supposed to be hard to abusive marriages are really, really hard. Marriage should actually be the most wonderful relationship in the world because it's supposed to be a partnership. As Patricia Evans talks about, a power with dynamic, where together you're able to accomplish much more than you ever could alone. And yet, because of this abusiveness, because of the power over dynamic, when men are in secret competition with their partner, it ends up being this kind of scenario all the time. If you can relate to this, leave a comment below, tell us about it, and then head over to our podcast. This is a subject that we're discussing this week, and I think you'll find a lot of validation there.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this. So feel free to share your opinion down in the comment section. So this got people's reaction. People had things to say about this woman response. Is marriage really hard, or is marriage really supposed to be hard? Anyway, guys, let's go hear other people's thoughts on this, then we'll come back and talk.
Marriage actually supposed to be hard. Let's talk about that.
From my experience with married couples and even in my own personal life and my own marriage, I've observed something. People in general, but married couples specifically, extend grace, understanding, and kindness to outsiders more frequent and in abundance, way more than they do their own spouses. It's what I call the good china phenomenon. Remember when we were kids, our parents used to keep these special dishes for when the visitors arrived. So we reserve the goodness of us, the kind part of us, for people outside rather than our spouses. And that's normal because we're living with each other. I remember when I was single, I lived with a Congolese couple, and one day the wife broke a glass. and the husband just lost it, and he was started just complaining about how he spends a lot of time working to make some money, and the wife is just breaking things, and why are you not more careful with our stuff? These things cost money, yada yada yada. And when you fast forward a few days or a few weeks, I don't remember, I broke a plate in that house, and the husband was so concerned. There was a real stark difference between the concern he showed for me versus what he showed to his wife when she broke a glass. The woman says the same thing in her video. If I had gone to the beach with my kids and my best friend versus if I go with my husband, with my best friend, even if I forgot the snacks, we would have just laughed about it. Yeah, that's true. But with your spouse, you would have been a bit more edgy and a little bit irritated about it. It would have been something like, oh, you're always forgetting things. It's me who has to think of everything in this house. The problem is that we know each other intimately. You, not my friend Johnny down the road. You know how hard I am working to make ends meet. Yeah, I am hustling, waking up late, waking up early in the morning, sleeping late at night to make the little money we have, and yet you are breaking. The fact that you know, and yet you are breaking stuff, it shows that you just don't care for me. And that's why marriage is hard, because I have to continuously be treating you as if you are an outsider, regardless of the fact that I know you. I know you. How many times have you broken glasses? How many snacks have you forgotten? And yet I must still treat you like I treat an outsider? That is hard.
That.
No, it's not supposed to be hard. Marriage, relationships, none of these things are supposed to be hard. And I discovered this when I finally got into a good relationship, when I finally got into the right relationship for me. Someone who commented on one of my videos said that when they met their current husband on the third date, if being with him felt like taking off your bra at the end of a hard day. That to me was the perfect description of what a good relationship is supposed to feel like. It's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be struggle love. And anybody who tells you, oh, relationships are hard, marriage is hard. No, marriage to a person who's not right for you is hard. Marriage to an abusive person is hard. Dating a narcissistic person is hard, or living with a narcissistic person is hard. Relationships should feel good. Marriage should feel good. Relationships, the world outside is hard. Struggling financially, trying to find a good job, trying to save for your kids' college, all those things. Those things are hard. The relationship itself, that should never be hard.
Is marriage actually supposed to be hard? Let's talk about that.
Okay, today is my 20th wedding anniversary. I have been married to my husband for 20 years. Is my marriage hard? No. My marriage is not hard. My marriage is one of the easiest things that I've ever done. Parenting in general is hard, but parenting with my husband is not hard because he's present and, now he coaches football. And so I become a football widow every year. And you know what I use that time to do? Whatever I want. Right before I got married, my Aunt Shelley told me, and at this time she'd been married to my Uncle Ronnie for like 30 years, I think. And she said, people will say that there are good times and bad times, good days and bad days. And what I will tell you is that there are good years and there are bad years. Now, in 20 years of marriage, we have had 2, maybe 3 bad years. We weren't communicating, we weren't connecting, we weren't putting in like the time that we should because we were raising 3 kids and we were tired. I don't think that marriage is hard when it's a good marriage, but that doesn't mean that I don't have girlfriends who I will literally get off the phone with one of my girlfriends after listening to them tell me something about their marriage. And I will cry to myself because I feel bad for them. And then I will go track down my husband in whatever room he's in and just embrace him, and he loves it. He's like, I love when your girlfriends are fighting with their husbands because you always think that I'm like so much cooler. But the truth is, those moments just remind me that my marriage is not hard. I am married to my best friend, not my bestie. I mean, I have a girlfriend who's my best friend, but my husband is the safest place that I know. And he understands when I am completely like unable to communicate. He knows me and I know him. And so I think that because of that, our marriage is not hard. I can't say that for everybody. I can't say that for people who married. I can't say that for people who married men who are at their core misogynistic. I cannot say that about every marriage. My marriage is not hard. And I don't believe, after 20 years in, and good times and bad times, sickness and in health, rich or poor, I mean, the whole 9 yards. At one point, we lived 2 years in a 24-foot RV with our 3 children and our big ass dog. And even then, living small during a pandemic, that was hard. Trying to find groceries, that was hard. Trying to decide what we are going to do about a certain situation with money or our children or our families, that's hard. But marriage is a partnership between my husband and I. And when I lay down in the bed at night, I'm happy to be there. And when I wake up in the morning, I reach for him. Not to be creepy, but the other day he left for work and I put on his t-shirt that he had been wearing because it smelled like him and I just wanted to wear it. Did we separate for 3 months and he moved in an apartment down the street? Yeah, we did. About 10 years ago. And that was hard. Deciding that we were going to work on our marriage and really, really work on it, that was hard. But marriage, I don't think marriage is hard. I don't think marriage is supposed to be hard in and of itself. Life is hard. Career changes are hard. Parents dying is hard. Having kids is hard. Having sick kids is hard. Being broke is hard. I mean, lots of things about life are hard, but sharing them with my husband is not the hard part. I'm glad that I have somebody to share it with. I don't think that marriage is supposed to be hard. I think that you are right. I think that being married to somebody who's abusive, being in a bad marriage, well, yeah, that's hard. I mean, when my husband and I fight, we resolve things. Fighting doesn't feel good, but resolving things does, because we only have that fight once and then it's resolved and then we go to bed, or we fight about it all night and take 3 more days to come to the resolution. But marriage, my marriage is not hard. Lots of things about our life over the last 20 years have been hard. But my marriage is one of the easiest things that I've done as a whole. I mean, yeah, good years, bad years, good days, bad days. Some days I don't even like my bestie, okay? She talks about BTS too much and she gets on my nerves. But that doesn't mean our friendship is hard. That means that that particular thing is just like not my favorite, you know? So do I think it's easy to have to tell my husband over and over again that blah, 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 fill in the blank? Sure, that's hard. But spending your life having a partnership with a person who you have the same values, the same beliefs, who you chose to do life with every single day and are still doing it successfully 20 years later? No, I don't think marriage is supposed to be hard.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. So feel free, share your opinion down in the comment section. But please keep it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect anybody to air your opinion. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we respect each other. Disagreement is a norm, so we're allowed to disagree. So just go down and leave your comments respectfully. So I personally, I have so much to say. Some of you guys may not know, I have been married for 10 years. By next month, it will be 10 years anniversary. So I've been married for 10 years, and I have been with my husband for 20 years. So, yeah. Okay, so this is it. Is marriage supposed to be hard? I feel like marriage is not supposed to be hard, but the reality of it is that it is hard. And I feel like it's based on the setup of how society has orchestrated the whole marriage institution and how it has been glamorized by people, society, for women. They always make women feel like marriage is a favor from a man to her. Like if a man pick you, it's a favor. And this has also made some men, not all, some men being very, very conceited in their behavior and become like, once they marry you, they feel like they, especially African men, oh Lord, I don't, but they become complacent and it's more like they own you, and a lot of effort and conscious decision that are supposed to be taken to help the marriage not to be intense or hard, it's not taken, because they feel like most of the work should be done by the woman. The woman should be able to keep the, like here in Africa, here in Nigeria especially, it's being believed that if a marriage breaks up, it's the woman's fault. Whether the man did anything is it has nothing to do with the man. It's everything always boils down to the woman. And what they refuse to understand, that it takes two people to stay married. It takes two people to make a marriage not hard. But if there is no conscious effort to do that, like there's no way. Another thing I feel like also is why marriage is not supposed to be hard, but it's hard, because of that intensity that they've given us women, especially African women. We always have a timeline for us, and then when we are with a man, we overlook a whole lot of things. When we're dating and all that, we overlook a whole lot of things, and then just really fascinated about the little things that feels good and feels right, rather than logically think and say, does me and this person, do we see eye to eye on my values, what I want for life, what is my long-term goal, what is this long-term goal, does it align? Because two people might love each other, but what they want from life is totally different. And if they choose to come together and become married, that marriage is going to be hard, because one person is going here, the other person is going here. So when you're in the dating stage and when you're talking, is a conscious effort. Don't go with, oh, I have butterflies in my stomach, I love him. I know that. Yeah, love is being married for 10 years. Love is like the love is the least thing that really keeps marriage. It takes a whole lot of component to keep marriage and to keep it not hard and happy. A lot of people stay in unhappy marriage because we're already in it, so what else can we do? But if you take these things in place, like really consciously, intentionally get into it, and logically ask yourself, what is in it for me with this person? Some people get married for different reasons. Some people get married for companionship, to have kids, for money. People get married for different reasons. So ask yourself, be honest with yourself when you choose to go into it. Like, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I getting married? Because I feel like a lot of people just got married because it's just a thing to do. A lot of people never ask themselves that question, like, is this what I want to do? Why am I doing, why do I want this? That's also another thing I feel like makes marriage hard. And then lastly, like the other sister said, being in the same space with another human being that was raised differently from you, oof, is a whole lot. I can tell you, is a whole lot. Dating and not living together is a different ball game when you start living together. When you start living together, there are some little icks that gets you. Like I and my husband personally, I can't step into a bathroom that is wet. Like but my husband, he doesn't mind. And our first couple of years of marriage, it caused a whole lot of you like a whole lot of wahala, because I was like, no, clean, make sure you mop the floor before you leave the bathroom, because I can't stand it. And little things like that, you think it doesn't mean, oh, I will overlook it. Over time it builds up, and before you know you now start getting irritated, or the other person start getting irritated by your normal way of life, that nobody has told you that it's wrong for you to live that way. So it really habitating in another space. Like I think there was a video I did a couple of months ago, well, like probably last year, that was saying married couples stay in a different house. I personally, if I have that type of money, I would do that. Like, it's not as if I don't love my husband, but I feel like we'll both strive if we're both in a different house or a different apartment. Like, we have like a bridge, we come like almost like we're dating but married. I feel like it will work, because we are so different in a lot of things, in terms of how the house is being run. We're so different, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I know I've talked a lot. I like having conversations like this. So hey, anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this discussion. But please keep it respectful. Like I always say, just be respectful, okay? Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation. So go ahead and share this video. With that all said, guys, give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Doing all this, commenting, share this video, like this video, and even subscribing. This helps YouTube to push up my content to more people. So please go ahead and do all those good stuff. With that all said, guys, and you want to if you want to support this channel, you can go ahead and join the membership, or you can also give your girl a thank you, a token. Your girl will appreciate it, okay? With that all said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.